Well, let's go to Kurt, who's on the line in Pecos, Texas. Kurt, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Mr. Coleman, how are you?
I am living the dream, Kurt. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's Pecos, Texas.
Oh, I apologize. Pecos. I am making a
That's
note.
all right. Everyone mixes it up.
There you go. How can I help?
So my question for you, Mr. Coleman, is I am currently a safety consultant in the oil and gas industry, and I'm extremely interested in opening up my own business. The problem is I feel whenever I find a new skill and I learn that skill, I'm interested in it, I'm challenged by it, I'm engaged, and then I think, man, I can start a business with this. I have a very entrepreneurial spirit, but I just don't know how to stay challenged or stay engaged and interested in the things that I believe I can make a business out of. And my wife tells me all the time, when are you going to decide what you want to be when you grow up?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm wondering
So
why it is. Well, I'll do my best. But two things. Number one, don't call me Mr. Coleman anymore. Ken will do. And two, I want to know, blurt it out. Why do you think you're losing interest in all these ideas?
Well, like for instance, I've written up probably 5 or 6 business models that I believe I can make pretty good money at, and I would enjoy doing it. I think I'm just a simple person. I would enjoy doing anything that I put myself out there to do. Just I feel like I get burnt out. I lose interest in it once the challenge isn't there anymore.
Well, wait a second. Wait.
Move on to the next one.
Wait. I'm missing something here. You told me you've got 5 ideas that you've written out business plans, but now you're getting burned out on them. Now, there's a difference between burned out and losing interest, and I'm missing the part where you've launched one of these 5 ideas. Have you?
No, sir.
Well, then
I have
wait a
not
second.
Executed because I'm afraid that I'll lose interest and not want to continue doing it once I execute it.
I'm going to challenge you, Kurt. I don't think you're afraid of losing interest. I think you're afraid of something else, and losing interest is an excuse for you. That's what I think.
Okay.
What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Come on, tell the truth. This losing interest, there's a reason you're losing interest. I'm not doubting that you're losing interest once you get the idea and you write the business plan, you get all excited. But take me through all 5 of them. Take me to the moment. You've written business plans for 5 ideas that got you pretty darn excited when you were writing the plan, right?
Right.
When did you lose interest? What's the point in which you what's the point at which you go, oh, I'm scared I'll lose interest in this?
Okay, so for example, we'll take one of them. So I wrote a business model, a 3-phase business model for a gun store, which evolved into a gun store and shooting range, which then evolved into a restaurant, gun store, shooting range, and training and all that involving firearms. And I started, I went through, got my gunsmithing license, started doing some gunsmithing on the side, and enjoyed what I do, liked what I did. But then I found something else that I like doing too, and I put gunsmithing on the side. I was like, okay, and then I stopped messing with it. And then I had another business model for being a financial coach and life coach, helping people get on a right path and to help their financial security. And then I did it for myself, got myself to where I'm currently working on it. So I'm not 100% debt free yet, but once I figured out the challenge of it and I got it worked out with me, I still tell people about it, but that enthusiasm for wanting maybe I can open a business doing this isn't there. And there's, it goes on and on. As I find this hobby, I think of how I can make a business out of this hobby. And then once I figure out the business and figure out the demographics, it's either going to work, or 2, it's not going to work. Most of the time they're going to work, or I'll be able to make it work. And
wait a second.
Well, once I get challenge figured out,
but Kurt,
I just don't execute.
Kurt, you haven't figured anything out. You're telling yourself you figured it out, and then you go, well, once I figure it out, I don't execute on it. Well, you haven't figured anything out. I can sit here all day long and come up with all kinds of great inventions on paper, but until I test them, you remember this guy named Thomas Edison?
Right.
Do you know how many great ideas Thomas Edison had, and they didn't work? You ever heard about that? We know him for the things he did. You go read about Thomas Edison, all the times he failed. Here's my point. Kurt, I don't mean to be unkind, and I am not being unkind, but you need truth in your life today. I'm glad you called. You haven't executed on anything. And it's not because you figured it out. It's because you're scared to do it. You're an idea guy. You get 100 ideas a minute, don't you?
Right.
Yeah. But Kurt, all 5 of the things that you got excited about that could be a business, you just told me, well, Ken, I figured it all out, wrote it out on paper, and then, well, I'm not excited about it anymore. You're terrified to start something. You're terrified to do something. And you got to admit that. So, Kurt, I would throw you back to any one of those ideas, and you got to decide which one, if you were able to do it all day, every day. And you said it earlier on the phone call. You said, Ken, I'm a simple guy. I could be excited doing anything. Then why aren't you doing something? And I think what your wife is saying to you is, when are you going to decide what you're going to be when you grow up? You know what she's really saying, Kurt? Do you know what she's really saying? She's saying, when are you going to actually do something? When are you going to stop talking and start doing? I think for you, my man, you have got to get serious about trying to launch one of these businesses that you're so passionate about at first. You go, oh, well, I've got it figured out. Well, now I'm bored. And you're going, Ken, I'm afraid that when I get going in it, I'm going to lose interest. Well, guess what? If you get it up and going, Kurt, and it's successful, then you can start another business. That's what entrepreneurs do. Entrepreneurs do lose interest, but that's why they create new businesses. That's why they create new divisions. That's why they create different streams of revenue. But I'm going to be honest with you, Kurt. You lost me with, I got all these ideas, and once I figure them out on paper, I lose interest. Well, you haven't figured anything out. Now, again, folks, I don't want to be unkind. I don't think anybody can accuse me of being unkind on the radio show so far. I don't think I'm being that now. But I will tell you, this is a wake-up call for Kurt, and wake-up call for a lot of you out there. You got a million ideas. You get all excited about them. You play them all out. You tell your friends and family, your wife, you get all excited, and then there's a reason why you don't do it. And Kurt didn't reveal it. And I'm not going to try to corner somebody, but I'm telling Kurt and I'm telling you, if you feel like you're Kurt, you're not afraid of losing interest. You're afraid of failing. You're not afraid of losing interest. You're afraid of starting. You're not afraid of failing. You're afraid of what others might say about your idea. Oh, yeah, you can walk in the hallway. You can walk out of the shower. Hey, babe, you're not going to believe this. I just figured out the formula to cold fusion. It's this, and this. Oh, that's awesome, sweetheart. What are you going to do about it? Well, I think I can start a business that work like this, and this. Oh, awesome. 2 weeks later, you got another idea. Now, again, you know what? No more qualifications. Kurt is afraid of something, and it's time for Kurt to put a stake in the ground and do something. And for some of you, it's time for you to do something.